All right, what's up, guys? Whew. Sorry that we're doing a live stream tonight. Surprise. Sorry that I'm a few hours late here and that there was no notice from me. I had the best intentions earlier of getting a thumbnail up between two rehearsals. Our schedule got changed around the last few days for today because of the heat. We're playing these outdoor shows, and I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. I had planned on going live tonight, and so here we are, 10 p.m. live stream. Just so you guys know, the music in my ears that I'm playing right now on the stream is like cutting in and out for me, so let me know if you hear anything. We lost our internet the other day, all the storms that were coming through and stuff like that, so I guess there's a possibility that the signal could not be as good or something. I'm not a scientist, but if you hear the music cutting in and out, or if the video feed gets weird, please let me know as we get going here on the stream. As you do make your way in, do me a favor, hit that like button. Yeah, it looks like I'm getting a notification that my signal strength is not that good on my end. So hopefully this is just a little glitch right now and it doesn't affect the rest of the stream. So a couple things. Number one, obviously Pours in the Park is coming up. I see Derek's talking about it in the chat right now. I'll be at Pours in the Park the entire time this year. I don't think Sarah's going to be there, unfortunately, so that's a little sad. But I'll be there the entire time hanging out. Derek, I'll bring those bottles that I owe you, dude. Top Dog says, I don't hear the music. Interesting. Does anybody else not hear music? I'm definitely playing music. Anyways, so we got Pours coming up. What else? Today, what we're going to be doing on this stream. Sorry, a little spacey. Been frying out in the heat all day, playing music. Today, we've got a Bardstown single barrel that I'm going to be tasting. I know people have been going a little crazy over these things. It's young whiskey, you know, it's 6-year-old stuff, but it is some of the first single barrel releases that we're seeing come out of Bardstown that's being bottled by them. I know Rare Character has their hands seemingly on some of those ryes, at least the ryes, if not other stuff, and other people might be barreling it as well. I'm not sure where all of this distillate is going to these different NDPs. I can't keep track. You know, I'm not reading the whiskey news every day like I used to, so you guys might know where a lot of this stuff is going besides into their own bottles, but I was excited to get this through the Bourbon Finds barrel program that I've been a part of for a while. I get those emails sometimes, and every once in a while I'll jump in and grab one. This was one that I thought I had to have. So tonight I'm going to be tasting this Bardstown single barrel, and then also I've got a blind flight from Ron, Claddagh Guy. Claddagh Guy? I hope I'm saying that right. And I don't know if Ron's going to be here tonight, but I said the next time I got on a stream I was going to do his blind flight. So I've got that. He got a letter here. I've got 5 blind pours. I'll be taking notes. I do have an answer key. I don't have black note cards, so you guys are going to be blind as I'm blind. Sorry about that. I will put together a little instruction sheet for the people that send me blinds next so that we always have black note cards. Maybe I can have Sarah help me with that as well on our end of things if that's not a possibility for the person sending it. So, yeah, and the other thing is it's my birthday at midnight. So, on the 28th, I will be turning 29. So, there's that. So, that's kind of what we're doing on this live stream. So, please hit that like button as you get in here. Sorry, again, that it's unannounced. I got to get a little pour going. I was trying to rehydrate, you know. Been out sweating all day. Playing snare drum and triangle, as you know I do. Yeah, Will, it has been an oven in Ohio. Let me say hello to some folks in the chat. And also, cheers, guys. And sorry if I look just like a grease ball. I am a grease ball. I smell so bad right now. Cheers. All right, so we got Top Dog in here. Will giving me some much-deserved crap. Who is this Drums and Drams guy? I don't know. Jeff Smith, what is up? Gary Jerry Airy D in the house. Derek as well. Yep. And someone said, Joe Dickinson, I saw your post on Patreon a second ago. I saw that come through. Cheers to you, man. 210 in the house. Hey, hey, hey. Bev Porter, thank you for the birthday wishes. We got Eric Guns. What's up, y'all? Damn, had I known I'd be sipping Bardstown Disco 1 and 2. I'm sipping on a Four Roses OESF. I love an OESF. I think I like OESK a little more, but that's fine. OESF is great. Chad Gazinski says loud and clear. Thank you, Chad. Scott says it's low, but you can hear it. Yeah, I guess it is pretty low. I'd rather it be low than too loud. So we got Chad, we got Scott in here. Lito, what is up, dude? Hey, good to see your name popping up here. Derek says, getting blessed with a new Post Malone album for your birthday. I did not realize that. That's cool. Austin, heat is brutal. I work outside. It was 107 in Illinois today, so I feel you there. Jeez, man. I mean, Austin, I don't know what you do. I mean, I can't really complain. I'm playing music outside. You know, I'm not directly in the sun. There is a tent overhead, so I can't complain too much. But it was a little bit of a it's a hotter day, let's say. A lot of gear moving and just stuff like that. Tim Tam saying, what's the birthday pour gonna be? I don't know. I guess we'll decide as this thing gets going. I have some amazing samples, but I don't know that I want to kill them, but maybe I will. The Toshi has sent me a 1969 President's Choice, and those kind of in like the circular, the old style bottle. Yeah, 1969. I want to say it is. Unbelievable stuff. So that could be the birthday. See, Sarah loves that bottle or loves that sample, and there's probably like less than an ounce left. I like to save those things for her, but also I got to be a little selfish sometimes. Oh, what is up? The man of the hour. We got Ron in here. I'm always self-conscious about saying Claddagh. Is it Claddagh Guy? Jeb, it is nice to meet you as well. A little firm handshake for you, Jeb. First time meeting. Joe, hey, man. Joe, I'm going to hit you up about that Elijah Craig Batch 11, by the way. Just so you know. Eric, I almost said thirst wave. Well, there might be a thirst wave, but heat wave has me thirsty for some Labad Batch 1. Me too. That might be a birthday pour tonight as well. What's up, Amy? We're getting in it tonight. Austin, I work at a grain elevator. Yeah, that sounds hot. I bet you need to drink a lot of water, Eric. Austin. I can't. I said Eric partly because your last name's Erickson, but partly because this thirst wave. All right. So let's get into it here. First thing on the stream is I'm going to taste and talk about this Bardstown single barrel. And what I want to do is, as you can see, I've had one pour of this. I believe this showed up. Gosh, it may have been yesterday. I may have had a pour of this last night. It was either last night or the night before. I have some thoughts on it, like kind of preview thoughts in my brain floating around, but I want to taste it again, and I want to try to find a few things that might compare to it. The reason being, I'm going to see if I can get a close-up here of this bottle. I'm a little off-center with my camera, so I got to... There we go. So you can see here, it's very bright and shiny, but it comes through loud and clear. Bourbon Finds is who picked it, but the mash bill, which I love that they include on the front of these labels. And, this might be old hat for some of you guys. I have not been watching other Whiskey Tube live streams for a few months now. So if other people are talking about these and this is like being rehashed, just like we all rehashed the Elijah Craig, alphanumeric code. I'm sorry about that. Excuse me. But 75 corn, 15 rye, 10 barley, and then there's a 0 for the wheat content. You can see clearly age 6 years old. And this thing is coming in at 110 proof. You can read that here on the bottom, right? So this is a mash bill that is not one of their standard mash bills, but was a contract distilled mash bill, at least as far as I know, that then some barrels were held back to be selected for the single barrel program. All right, so we have a non-traditional mash bill from Bardstown Bourbon Company, but let's see what this thing's like. 110 proof, 6 years old. Oh, man, I still, that pronunciation, those, what is that called? Phonetic? Is that what that's called? Phonetic language? I don't know what that's called. I can't remember. Anyways, that doesn't help me, Ron, with the pronunciation. Okay, Clay is here. Evening, folks. Sipping on an OBSO as a nightcap. Cam, check out any lines on YouTube this season. Mandarins are grooving. Clay, I have not really looked at any DCI stuff, but tonight, actually, the show that I'm doing this weekend is with the Ohio State Marching Band. I know it's a college marching band. The drum line is phenomenal. My buddy Mark, who is also my artist rep at Sabian Cymbals, talk about that in a little bit, too. I was at the factory last week. Mark has been there for maybe 10 years now at this point, or 8 years, something like that. Ohio State's drumline sounds ridiculously good. So, no, I haven't checked a lot of DCI. I've watched Little Blue Devils, home team, of course. All right. All right, we're grooving with some Eagle Rare. So let's get on to the first pour, official pour of the birthday stream here. The big 2-9. Not 30 yet, which is nice, but my best friend's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Kramer. He's a year older than me, so he's 30. And one of the guys playing in the percussion section of the symphony this week has the same exact birthday as me. He's a year older than me also. So, Justin, happy early birthday to you, birthday boy. Claddagh, says Amy. There we go. All right. Easy peasy. Thank you, Amy. So let me know in the chat if any of you have tried one of these Bardstown single barrels. I would be curious to know your thoughts and also what mash bill you had, because it seems like that's going to be an important distinction. I grabbed the Origin because it's also got the white label. Yeah, I grabbed the Origin high rye, but it's a pretty drastically different mash bill and a much lower proof. But again, I'm going to go through this and see if I can find some good comparisons to this thing. And then we'll move on to a little blind flight action from Ron. Thanks, Ron. You got to dumb it down for me. But also, what is that called when you have in that pronunciation, like the second thing in here, Claddagh, and then it says with the K. What is that called? Is the word phonetic used in that, or is there a fancy term for it? I can't remember. I feel like my choir singing friends know about that when they're doing pronunciations and pieces. All right, enough of that. Thank you, DC. Thank you, DC. Much appreciated, man. Lito says, my wife's birthday was Monday. Took her to Napa. Nice, man. Very, very cool. All right. So first thing I'm going to say about the Bardstown single barrel, I wanted to not like this stuff. Bardstown to me has been kind of in the last, 18 months going down a little dark road. Fusion wasn't so good there at the end. The Discovery series just really rocky. Prices increasing. The collaborative series kind of really hit or miss at this point. And so I love the Origin High Rye, don't get me wrong. Bottled and Bond Weeder, you guys know I didn't like that so much. But there's potential there for a higher age for that to really round out. I wanted to not like these single barrels. And this smells really, really, really good. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, please hit that like button, guys. Let's get a few more folks in here. All right. So the first impression of this whiskey is like apple strudel, kind of like cinnamon apple strudel, something along those lines. Oh, like almost like a McDonald's apple pie. It's got some of that characteristic in here. Like there's a really nice amount of spice for only being 15% rye in the mash bill. Yeah, good red, kind of abrasive cinnamon note, but it works in here. Like it is a little forward, there's a little bit of young oak in this thing, but I'm actually not offended by it. It's adding a dimension to the whiskey that's nice. And again, apple pie. Underneath that, though, is kind of a weird combination of things. I would say most of this whiskey, 60% of what I'm getting right away is this cinnamon apple thing. But underneath it, there's a weird dark base to the whiskey. Parts of it remind me of like older MGP when you think of kind of real syrupy dark fruit MGP notes. And then there's another part of this that has a beautiful kind of, I want to be correct here, like a little bit of a burnt coffee thing on the darker side of this. So kind of a dark fruit syrup and burnt coffee at the bottom end, but all kind of McDonald's apple pie cinnamon on the top. So some of those notes I'm talking about will remind you of MGP. I don't think that's far off. This has a lot of MGP kind of qualities to it. The rye is not as herbal as you would think of an MGP rye bourbon to be, but I kind of like that about it. This is a really interesting profile. Very fruity, just a lot going on. So I like the nose of this. 6 years old, 110 proof. The price on this, I think it was a little much. I don't know. I'd have to go check 80 or 90 or something. That's a lot for what this is. Let's try it on the palate. Joe, the mash bill on this one is 75, 15, 10. That's rye, not wheat. All right, here we go, down the hatch. Matt Porter, who I'm going to see next week, and I'm very excited. That's really, really good. Wow. I did not want to like this as much. Wow. Big cherry. Big cherry note on this. Little earthiness, which is kind of going along with some of those darker notes I talked about on the nose. I would say the whiskey, the one thing this thing is having an issue with, it's a little bit disjunct. Like there's a lot of mid-range flavors, and then this like darker thing. Like I said, the burnt coffee, syrupy, dark fruit. They don't connect very well. So it's not completely cohesive, even though it is a single barrel. That's okay. This is 6 years old. The first round of single barrels, very impressive. So fruity. The more I'm smelling this now, it almost smells like and tastes like there's some sort of residual sugar in this, which is not a thing. But it's so sweet. I'm getting peach now. I'm getting I'm getting this big cherry note like I talked about. Elements of it, as I said, reminded me of MGP on the nose. The palate is kind of giving me more of a wild turkey thing. Kind of like a really, really solid wild turkey 101, but not as young. Maybe like an 8-year 101. I know that's out now in the Asian markets. Haven't had that one yet, but this is really, really, really good. Wow. Tim Tam, thinking... So I haven't had Discovery 10 yet. Thinking Discovery 11 will put it back on top with 73% 13-year Kentucky, 21 10-year Kentucky, and 6%. That sounds like a recipe for success to me. The only question I would have is where those older components are coming from. Just judging based on what I'm remembering they have, mash bill wise, probably some Barton in there, maybe not. Maybe they've shied away from Barton recently, but there has been something in there that's matched up with the Knob Creek or Wild Turkey mash bill, 75, 13, 12. So maybe that's one of them. I don't know. And then the Heaven Hill, they've had some Heaven Hill, 78, 12, 10. So let me know if you know. Jay, I can't wait to see you, man. Joe has one 75, 15, 10 that I really like, and one that's 70, 18, 12 I haven't opened. These things are going to be fire if they can get to 10 years. Yeah. I really hope that over the next 5 years we finally start to see more availability in the market. And if that availability starts with Bardstown Bourbon Company, that would be really nice, because this stuff is great. Joe's getting on a plane in 8 hours to go to Vegas. I need to go to sleep, but I'm going to be watching this for a while. Now I'm going to be watching this for a while. Well, do what you got to do, Joe. But thanks for being here either way, man. And sorry for the late pop-up. And Dustin, I missed you earlier. Good to see you, dude. Wow. Copper Wolf. Cheers. Good to see you. This is dangerous stuff. All right. I have to do it because when I get a whiskey that's like this with a little bit of that young, it's 6 years old. I'm not faulting it, but there's a teeny bit of that young wood note in here that I said is functioning or kind of interacting well or combining with the cinnamon. So it's not just blasting you in the face with young oak, but there's a little cinnamon to make it more flavorful. When I get a young whiskey like this, I want to add a little water to it just to see if it helps or hurts. And judging by this, the Bardstown Origin 6-year high rye, mash bill 6036-4, judging by this at 96 proof, water doesn't hurt this stuff. You know, if that's any indication, I love the proof point this is at. I love this whiskey. It's getting like more sticky sweet. Dang. I seriously, on the nose, I can't get away from feeling like this is reminding me of MGP. It's too close. It needed a little water. It's one of the very few bourbons that I throw water in and I like it better. That is very, very good. It actually got a little bitter on the back end, like bitter fruit, and that makes it interesting. It makes it more mouth-watering. Jeb, that's a great point. Very curious to see what the interest in bourbon is going to be in 5 years. Yeah. Tim Tam says 13-year in that Discovery 11 blend is going to be that 75-13-12. So either maybe a turkey or a beam possible. And the 10-year is 78-13. What is 78-13-9? What is that mash bill? Is that Willet? Clay, is this in the running for your best whiskey the first half of the year? Admittedly, Clay, I'm not in a great position to judge that just because I really cut back on spending. So there's so much stuff out there that I haven't tried this year. Stag 22 and 23A. You know, I mean, I've tried the Larcenies, Elijah Craig's. I've had no Bookers this year. I love the Peerless High Rye. I've talked about that maybe 2 months ago or so. I mean, there have been a few nice pours this year. Yeah, and then of course, you know, what was I just looking at? I lost it. Oh, the Old Elk Cigar Cut. I love the Old Elk Cigar Cut. I thought that was really good stuff. I think the Bardstown single barrel and the Origin high rye, I think these are both kind of, I don't know about whiskey of the year, but just great options. Because at this point it's really easy to be judgmental, to pick out flaws in a lot of the crappy whiskey being sourced or the young whiskey coming to market or poorly blended whiskey, whatever the case, or over finished. So much is out there now that's not good. It's easy to get cynical. So instead of, in my mind, thinking whiskey of the year, I just want to think just something that's really solid that you shouldn't be afraid to spend the $80 on. Because, you know, at this point, 50 plus is where you're at when you want to get something that's, you know, not a standard shelfer. So I'm trying to reframe a little bit. Like the whiskey of the year thing, the other reason I try to reframe is because then it makes me not feel like I have to chase the unicorns. Oh, if I want to talk about a whiskey of the year, even just amongst friends, then I'm like, oh, I need to try the 2 new Russell's batches. I need to try all this new Stags and all this stuff. It's just not feasible. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Yes. And this was not a bourbon. But yes, the rare character, 14 and I think 9 months, 14 years, 9 months, exceptional cask. I think it was barrel 55. It was 54 or 55. Unbelievable. That was the best thing I've had this year. If I had to call one out, that would be it. Copper Wolf just cracked the Hardin Creek 15 from last year. Dude, the Hardin's, the Jacob's Well, I think is which one you're talking about. That is silly good. And I can't wait to try the Frankfurt Claremont and then the other one that they're going to release in the 17-year version. Again, like, the only way I'm going to get it to secondary and just cutting back on the spending, you know? Yeah. All right. So, let's do a quick comparison before we move on to a blind flight. I'm going to put this Bardstown single barrel next to the Origin Series High Rye just to, see what it's like. There is a 21% difference in the rye content between these two whiskeys. 21% rye is a big difference. So I'm expecting, something that is perhaps similar in the grain quality, but different in the actual, kind of experience of the whiskey. We do have a proof difference. This had a little bit of water in it. The single barrel I've just added back to it. So let's say it's like, instead of 110, let's call it 108. Still a pretty high proof. And this is going to be 96, the Origin Series High Rye. All right. Joe is drinking Larceny B523 tonight. Yeah, let me know what you guys are sipping on. Joe, I actually revisited that the other day. I like it. I like B523. It's such a good batch. I still think C922 is far superior. I had C922, and my bottle is down to probably about an ounce and a half. I had it on Monday night at a friend's place, and I don't know if it's all the air in the bottle. I poured it, and I smelled it, and it smelled like, again, don't call me crazy. It had a little resemblance of an old Stitzel Weller, weeded bourbon from 40 years ago. It had a little bit of that funkiness to it. So I'm not saying it's a replacement for any of that stuff. I was very shocked to find that note in there. Lito is straight up drinking Oloroso Sherry. I've actually never visited the source. Oloroso Sherry is my favorite finish for Scotch. I don't think I've ever had any. I think I've only had Madeira, and I think maybe I've had some PX. Never visited the source. Oh, Jeb. Drinking ECBP Batch 11. Making me not want to talk to Joe about mine. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's do this comparison real quick. I'll get back to the chat in a sec. Bardstown single barrel, so good. I'm not going to run around and chase these things down, but anytime I see one of these, what's SRP? Before I say a price, I would love it if this was a 7, given the fact that these are like $45.50. If this was $65.70, I would really dig it. I paid more than that. Bardstown Bourbon Company. Single barrel. Do you guys know the SRP on these picks? Let me zoom in. It's probably going to be hard to find. Let me know in the chat if you know. Joe, 75 plus tax. I'm cool. We get to 90, 100. You get to Booker's Land, which someone mentioned Booker's earlier. I missed that chat. Let me scroll back. Here we go. Jeb said it. Booker's gets clubbed for the agent price, and the Bourbon Finds is 95 at lower proof. Yeah, I don't like that I paid 95 for it, but it was the only way I was going to get one of these right now. So when Joe tells me 75 plus tax, I'm much better about that. That feels like old Booker's prices to me, or oldish Booker's prices. And this stuff, in my mind, is far superior. This is a lower proof at 110, but I've seen picks at 120 proof, so I'm not exactly sure what's dictating the proof they get bottled at. I mean, of course, the barrel is going to have an impact, but it seems like they're going for whole numbers between those two, so I don't know. Tim Tam says 80 is the state minimum in Michigan. The Bourbon Finds was 95. Plus, yeah, it was super expensive then, Jeb. I actually didn't even think about shipping. So... Joe, what do you think about that Bardstown Discovery 10? All right, let's go on to the Origin now. Very, very similar. Bardstown's where it's at. I'm sorry. This stuff, their own distillate, is very good. It's funny because the proof on the proof on the single barrel is making me feel like it has a higher rye content, but obviously 21% more rye in the Origin series. So let's bring this down. There we go. Bring it down quite a bit. Jeff got a 128.6 proof seal box pick. That's crazy. So maybe they're not going for whole numbers on these bottlings. All right, so here's the difference. Bringing this Bourbon Finds pick down to, let's go even one more drop. Yeah, a significant drop in proof on this as compared to the Origin High Rye. Trying to even it out. Here's the difference. The higher corn content in this Bourbon Finds pick, it could just be the barrel. Could be a lot of things. Let's go with the corn content. It's the factor that we can identify. I'm getting more chocolate from this, more of those dark notes. At high proof, it came off as dark fruit syrup and kind of a burnt coffee. Bringing it down, it's just kind of a really nice chocolatey caramel note. All right, so it integrates well, it sweetens up well, and going to the Origin High Rye, it's spicier. You would expect more cinnamon, and it's a little bit fruitier. All right, so very, very good, comparison to think about what those grains are doing in the mash bill. I'm a little, even though the High Rye is that MGP 36 rye mash bill, I'm partial right now to the 75, 15, 10 mash bill of the single barrel, but I know that's not a mainstay Bardstown mash bill. That was just, a contract distilled mash bill, but I think it's really nice. So there we go. Jeb, yeah, Origin is a great bottle for the first pour of the night. It's Blanton's-esque. I agree. Yeah. Dustin snagged a 15-year Redwood Empire Haystack pick today. Is that an unfinished pick? I had that apple brandy, which was really, really nice. And very quick to just blow through that bottle. And David, what's up, David? I actually missed you earlier. Sorry, man. Passed on a couple rare character, probably exceptional cask. What you're talking about? Wish I hadn't now. Yeah, all rare character seems to be bottling very good stuff. And I love the bottle design. I love the art you can, the custom labels that you can do with that. It's very cool. Yeah, Copper Wolf. I think that Bardstown, I don't think it's going to exceed Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace has just so much history. So many celebrity endorsements. You know what I mean? Just people talking about it. But Bardstown, I think, is going to be something, if their distillate, it really is this good. And I think in my mind, if they can get the Discovery series back up to where it was, or even just closer to where it was, I think it's something for the enthusiasts. Whereas Buffalo Trace is something for the masses. Even though Bardstown is humongous and always expanding. So Dustin, yeah, it's unfinished. Good. I haven't tried a 15-year unfinished. The ones that were most curious to me before we get into this blind were those Rebecca Creek 16-year, the high proof, like 130 plus proof 16-year MGP barrels that Rebecca Creek had. I really wish I could have tried those. People said they were amazing, but then like the 108, the lower proof ones, people said don't bother with those. And I understand that because, like, for instance, in the Maryland Heritage series, the Laurel 16-year bourbon, it's good. It's at 97.8 proof. Same as the Remus Gatsby 16. Like, these were fine, but this lower proof cask strength MGP stuff, I think you got to have a little more of that proof on there. So I don't know if it's rickhouse position or whatever that's going to do that to the proof as it aged, but yeah. Copperwolf says Pappy 23 on Marvel. I saw a screenshot of that. Yeah. Jay, good night, man. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate it. I can't wait to meet you, dude. Come, just, if I see you, I'm going to come pick you up from behind. I'm kind of little, so, but anyways, come pick me up or I'll pick you up. We'll do a slow motion movie run, Man, That single barrel watered down is awesome. Matt Porter, what's up, dude? You want to jump on? Let me know if you want to jump on. We can hang out. I got to do this blind flight, but also Matt. So I got a hotel room at that hotel you were saying in Midland for Thursday night. But if we don't start the hang that night until the time that you had mentioned, I was going to try to jump on a live stream that night. And if you were in the hotel, I was going to say, hey, dude, come into my room. Wink, wink. But, you know, come in here and let's jump on a live stream for a second and hang out. But it sounds like that might be a later night as well. I'm not sure. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I want to jump on next week if I can from the hotel. Matt, you're not that late, man. I started at like 10, 15-ish or 10:10-ish. What's up, Janelle? But yeah, if we can do it on that Thursday night, we should jump on together. That would be very cool. I'll figure out the miking for that. I'll bring probably just one camera. I'll bring up there. I don't want to lug around a whole setup. But we'll see what happens. Wearing nothing but the belt, that would be fun. Actually, it would not. It would not be fun. I don't know if actually it would not be good for anybody for me to do that. So no. I'm gonna veto that right now. Tim Tam, damn, Midland, my hometown. Oh wow. I haven't been there, so we'll see. I love this Bardstown single barrel. Matt, have you had a Bardstown single barrel, dude? Chad, I can't speak to them currently. Paul Graham, who has been an amazing supporter of the channel over the last 3 years, sent me a Frey Ranch pick in 2020 probably, if not early 2021. And it's young. I want to say it's 2.5 years old maybe. It shows a lot of potential, and I know people have gotten much older picks. A few years older. But I know people love them. Mine is just okay, but I can see the potential, so I would love to try it. Matt has not. All right. I'll have to bring this one up. So we can have it together. 4-Leaf Whiskey's in the house. Who else is in here new? KCB, 2 guys, 1 mic. All right. Let's do a little blind whiskey. Let's do a little blind flight. I'm sorry that I don't have excuse me. God, I got the bourbon belches, and it's like 2. I have less than probably 2 pours at this point. But I also have not had dinner, so that's protect me. Remind me not to have too much. I don't have a rehearsal tomorrow. Thankfully, usually we have Fridays before our concerts at night. But because the schedule got shifted around, they didn't want to have an afternoon rehearsal tomorrow because it was going to be so hot. So I don't have anything till 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And it's a fairly easy concert, which is great. So this is the answer key, which is stapled shut from Ron. I'll put this just over here. And I need one more clean glass. Give me just a second, guys. I'll read you out the note that Ron sent, and then we'll do these 5 pours blind. And you'll be in the dark, and I'm sorry. But that's okay. Wow, we have 68 in here on a pop-up live stream. It's really not a pop-up. I should have announced it earlier. Sorry. Please hit that like button if you are in here. Thanks for being here also. Bardstown single barrels up to $90. Bye. Bye. Let's get this out of here. Let's get some jazz on. Devin, it's not the seal box pick. This is a Bourbon Finds pick. It's 110 proof, 75 corn, 15 rye, 10 malted barley. All right, let's get a little water in the system before we get into this blind. Johnny, how's the health been lately, Cam? I'm still having the problems with my leg that I was having, my left leg, which, I had these 2 MRIs on my back and my leg. The spinal stenosis thing, I got 1 really bad disc in my back, 2 pretty bad discs. I can feel it affecting me, and I'm going to go get a second opinion and try to get some physical therapy, exercise ideas. I want to get back in the gym. I want to do it safely. But I can feel it affecting me. My leg's still having some issues. But my doctor still wasn't convinced that my back was the cause of that, interestingly enough. So I got some stuff to figure out. I've been kind of running on empty recently. Like, I had that big audition basically about 3 weeks ago now. And then the lead up to that, the 2 weeks before that were just like chaos because I was nervous. Insomnia, I couldn't sleep because of the audition coming up. So it's been about 5 weeks of me averaging maybe 5 hours of sleep a night and just running on empty. So I'm trying to get back to feeling better, get a little more sleep. So I'm okay, man. But yeah. Walker Clark. Joining late cam, watching at 1.5x, but made my night to see you live. Awesome, Walker. Thanks for being here. 1.5x. I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance. Yeah, Dustin. I've got to just... I want to do it the right way. Like, I used to lift weights. I know forms. I know stuff like this. I grew up doing it. But I'm just concerned about, top, like loading weight on the top, squats. I'm concerned about anything like that with my back. So I want to do that the right way is what I mean. But the first thing they wanted to do as a 28-year-old was to do a steroid injection in my, in my back, do an epidural. And I'm like, if that's your first option, that seems very wrong, very problematic to me. I'd like to do some other things first. So, all right. So let's talk about this. I have 5 blind pours. Let's get these in their correct order. From your left to right will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So Ron sent me this note. Greetings from Farley's Pub. I hope all is well with you and yours. As mentioned, here are some pours that I wanted to share with you. The key to the pours is in the stapled sheets over there. It is your choice to do the flight blind or know what you are drinking. Excuse me. Personally, I find blind dates more interesting. Me too. I hope you enjoy one or more of them. Be well, and I look forward to meeting you at some point. Cheers. Cheers, Ron, and thank you for sending this, man. And I love the little photo at the top. Love, loyalty, and friendship. All right. Let's get into this. So this is just there are no hard and fast rules about this. So I'm going to guess the 7 things. I got to remember this. The 7 things I usually try to guess, which is age, proof, state, distillery, finished or not, type of whiskey, and bottle. All right, so 7 things I try to guess. Yeah, that's right. Those are the 7. Let me check my notebook just to be sure. I think I probably have them listed out here. It's funny to just see all this. Age, distillery, proof, mash bill, price. Price. That was not me. That was someone else asking me for that information. I don't like doing price. Age, proof, type, finished, distillery, bottle, or grains/mash. There we go. So that's what we're doing. Let me get this set up in the old handy dandy notebook. What's up, Brandon Lincoln? Late to the party. Cheers. You're not late. I'm late. You're just a little more late, maybe. All right. Pour 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll write it over here. Age, proof, mash/grains, type, finished, ? Distillery, and bottle. All right. So I'll give some stats on these, and we'll just go along. I'll try to be quick about it because I don't want to bore you too much with blind pours. But it's just, we're hanging. We got 65 people in here on a late Thursday night. Thursday's basically not a work night anymore. We're so close to the weekend. I always give myself a little extra leeway. What's up, Alex? Dude, good to see you, man. I was thinking about that 1977 Ezra Brooks you sent me. I still have some up there. I've got to find a bottle of that. I'll give my kidney for that. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pour these all out at once. Glass 1 looks really freaking dark. Glass 2 Also looks pretty dark. Ron, I don't know what you sent me. I don't know if this is going to be a trick flight or like a banger's flight of really good stuff, or a mix. Either way, it seems exciting. Glass 3, quite a bit lighter. Yeah, EBA, what's up? This is a very old-fashioned blind flight that we're going to get into here. Toshi, I see a super chat. I'm going to get that. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Toshi, thank you, man, for $20 super chat. Little birthday gift. I probably got to order some dinner after this because I haven't cooked anything. So I'll probably DoorDash after this flight. So Toshi, you might be taking care of that right now. Evening and happy birthday, Cam. Hope you're good, man. Got a Pursuit United 119 proof. So Pursuit is bottling this. Bardstown also good. Really like it. Like you're mentioning, great sticker too. Snozberries taste like snozberries. Cheers. Cheers, man. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Good to see your name pop up. I was thinking about that George T. Stagg 09 as a birthday pour tonight, but you told me not to drink it, so I'm not going to drink it. Alex, dude, you don't have to send that. You do not have to send that, man. Keep that for yourself. It's so good. You should enjoy that. Yeah, Trevor likes the Bardstown picks as well. All right, let's do it. Let's get into it. Glass 1. Crazy dark color here. Kind of like that ruby amber. There's a little red tinge to this. Looks like a dusty, maybe like a heavily finished whiskey. Getting rye right off the bat. Yeah, big dill note. But something else in here, like burnt dark fruits. Yeah, burnt dark cherry. This reminds me a little bit of like a... It's got to be MGP. This has got to be MGP or Bardstown. Bardstown rye. Or maybe this could possibly be like a Sagamore double oak. There's a little bit of that coffee rubber note in here too. Ooh. Glass 1 a little bitter. A little bit of that rubber coffee double oaked rye thing. This has got to be a double oaked rye. I'm gonna stick with that as an initial guess on Glass A. Double oak rye. Age, I would go this could be between 4 to 6. That's general, but we'll start there. Proof on this, not a very high proof on, I'm gonna call this A, but it's Glass 1. Kind of ginger on the nose here too, which is a hallmark of some MGP ryes. It's a good proof, like good mid-range. This is like a 107, 110, 112, something like in that area. I'm gonna say 107 to 112 on proof. Could be, if I had to err on that, I would go low. I would go lower. Very, very flavorful. Big concentrated flavors. Ron, if this is like a Sagamore double oak or something along those lines, it's the best version of that I've ever had. Like, it does have a tinge of bitterness that I don't like with that slight rubber thing. And I know that's just a me deal. But it's so chocolatey, so espresso, with rye, with dill, with kind of that herbal mintiness. Yeah. I dig it. Distillery, I would have to say MGP on this. And if it's not, then I would go Bardstown. Because their ryes have that little thing going on in them too. That herbalness. Is it finished? Double oaked, I would say. I could see it also being a French oak finish. But I'm going to go traditional American, straight up double oaked. Type, I'm going to call that a rye whiskey. And bottle, I don't know. Maybe this could be I'm going to go Sagamore double oak. So that's just no comparisons. I might come back and revise, but if I just went straight into Glass 1, that's where I would go with that. I could see it even being... No. I don't think so. Like a Michter's double oaked. I don't think that's right. Good. I actually really like that. Okay, let's see here. Johnny, by the way, congrats on the permanent gig and happy birthday. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate that. I got that from Alex. Will says, happy birthday, Cam. I got to go up at 5. Man, get some sleep. Sweet dreams, dude. Catch the rest tomorrow. Nice to see you on again. Thank you, Will. Toshi, sorry I still have the bottles sitting and ready to be sent to you. I've got like 10 more bottles I want to send you samples of too, though. Traveling in India and Dubai last week. Dude, take me with you. Very cool. That sounds just awesome. Back home now, no travel soon, so I'll finally get those out to you, including the 2010 GTS. Dude, no rush. Jeez, I feel like I have to earn those pours from you. I mean, good Lord. Jeb finished my 2022 George T. Stag. I have one sip of that left. It was for Sarah, but I might just have to have it. Pour my Lucky 714 into the bottle to add a little Buffalo Trace to it. Not a bad idea. Joe, speaking of double oak, got the Jack Rose Saloon Peerless Double Oak Single Barrel. Really good. Huh. I've never had any of their single barrels. Christopher David, cheers to you, man. Whoa, Alex. I'm sending it. Also, well, and thank you, dude. Seriously. Pretty big news. Just got back from NYC doing a barrel pick with Kings County. Ended up being their first ever private blend. Turned out unbelievable. Wow. The one thing that worries me about Kings County, besides the fact that some of their whiskey can melt your face off, sorry, I thought I heard something, is that it's, some of it can be real crafty tasting, and it worries me, but I'll take your word for it, man. I wonder what the price point's going to be on that. Casey, all this George C. Stag talk, I happen to have poured me some 2020 for my belated BDay. Dude, happy belated, and enjoy that pour. Okay, on to Glass 2. Another really dark whiskey. In fact, it might even be darker than Glass. It is. Actually, by quite a bit. So this is exciting. Ooh, smells like, it smells like Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, smells like a little kind of chocolate malt action in here. Oh, it smells good. Oh my God, that smells. It's very very odd, but I can't. Chocolate cereal, 1,000,000% chocolate cereal on this. Could be what's the one? Cocoa Puffs, but I think I'm going Cocoa Pebbles on this. That is very good and very different. I have to imagine that's an American single malt. Yeah, because it feels like there's no rye in there. There's nothing that kind of keeps the spice going from front to back. It's extremely flavorful. Kind of a short finish, actually. Oh, boy, that's good. Oh, brother. I was watching a Hulk Hogan interview on Theo Von the other day. Just a little bit. I started it, and then I fell asleep. Not because it was boring. I was tired. Ron, what is this, dude? Oh, that is delicious. Okay, if I had to say that's finished in something, I could see that being just some sort of double oak. Again, like Glass 1, you're talking really dark color. It's got that kind of big flavor punch, some coffee notes in here as well, but not rye. This feels like a single malt. I could see it being a stout finish. It's got kind of that boozy, yeah, like oatmeal stout kind of thing. So I'm gonna be creative on this one, and I'm gonna say, yeah, ASM, American Single Malt. Age on this, I mean, that's really hard to tell. coming across older because I believe it is finished. I'm going to go 7. But I could be heavily undershooting that. Proof. Proof is going to be tough because there's not a lot of spice. My proofometer might be off tonight. Ron, this is stellar glass 2. Back to glass 1. Yeah, I like glass 2 so much better than glass 1. It's not close. I'm going to go... Oh, on proof, what is it? I think glass 1's harder than I thought it was. I think glass 1 is probably 110. I think glass 2 is probably like 104. I'm going to go 104 on glass 2. Mash bill, I'm going to say 100% malt. The mash bill on glass 1, I forgot. 95.5 is what I would say if I had to. Type of whiskey I got it. Is it finished? I'm going to say yes, finished. I'm going to go stout cask. Why not? Distillery, no idea on distillery. Bottle, I have no idea. And I think that's it. Okay, so let's go to glass 3. All right, 74 in here. What are you guys doing? I can't believe you're here, hanging out. Alex, I'll text you to explain. We had access to some old 5 and 10-gallon barrel stuff. They're transitioning their single barrel program to their new 53-gallon barrels. Yeah. Sounds like they're doing exactly what Middle West Spirits did. And that, you know, it worries me. Like Middle West, I think I like theirs. I think they use 30 gallons. I like that stuff maybe better than what they're doing now, but time will tell when their current stuff gets older than it was in the 30-gallon barrels. But I just think distilleries that understand how to manage, I've said this ad nauseum, distilleries that understand how to manage small barrels and who can put out a really great product with it, I don't believe they should, like if they do transition, they should only partially transition to 53-gallon barrels, because it's so rare that a distillery can handle those smaller barrels without getting that funky farmy note, over oaked, all the things you know that we find issues with those products. If you're doing it right, don't fully go away from it. That's my belief. Alex, we tried 6 samples of their 53-gallon barrels and almost immediately said no. Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's like, it's a big investment. And I think Middle West was telling me, you know, that they do, when they had those smaller barrels, they really put a lot of R&D into figuring out exactly how to manage that. And they had said some stuff to me. I'm not going to say it on here. And honestly, I don't even know if I remember it properly, but just about the aspects of the barrels that they were using, and it was, you know, complicated, and they had worked very hard on that, and that's what I like to hear, as opposed to just blanket thinking that smaller barrels just mean shorter aging time. That's not it. You have to really be careful with how you do it. Yeah, Alex, exactly. It loses the charm. It really does. So I've got a few Middle West picks put back from the old days. But I have faith in them because I have tasted some good stuff out of the 53s. It just needs 4 more years. 4 more years. Derek says Middle West did such a good job with the smaller barrels. Sad to see them. Yeah. Totally agree. Jeb, playing Warzone, drinking bourbon, and trying to listen to your notes. Don't try to listen to those. All right, let's go to glass 3. This is significantly lighter. This is kind of just like a nice goldenrod. If you had a 64 count crayon box from Crayola. Ooh. As you would expect, there's some honey notes in here, but it's a honey strawberry. Yeah. Ooh, very sweet. kind of like a little strawberry rhubarb, honey, kind of some vanilla in here. This is a spring whiskey. This is a spring whiskey if I've ever smelled one. Lower proof. Oh, that is delicious whiskey. Little short. Actually, it feels short on the finish, and then it comes back for a second round in your mouth. It passes the punching bag, and then it just doubles back. Couple rounds on the bag. I'm gonna stop now. Interestingly, though, I'm getting a rye note from this. So with all of the summer fruit, like this strawberry thing, what did I say? Strawberry rhubarb, vanilla honey. I'm also getting a rye thing in here, almost like a Canadian rye thing. I'm not sold that this is a Canadian rye, but it has some aspects of that kind of lighter profile all around. Second sip is actually better. Actually gets darker on the second sip, more full-bodied, which completely goes against what I would expect, especially for a lighter pour like this. Proof on here, I would go like 96. I'd say this is, God, I was going to say, it's some sort of American whiskey. I actually am not positive on that. Kind of reminds me of Old Overholt did back in the day, an 11-year, back in the day, 2020, released a special edition 11-year. I'm not sure the proof. It was fairly low proof, high 80s or low 90s. This kind of has a little bit of that to it. I think, 11 years. I think that's a rye. Yeah. It's a low-proof rye. Age, I could see that being 10 years old. That could be an overshoot. Yeah, I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go 10 years on the rye. Let's go 9. 9 years. No finish. I don't believe it's finished. Type of whiskey, I would say rye, yes, but American or Canadian? I'll go American on this. But who knows? Distillery. That's hard to tell. The speed bag, says Matt. Yeah, exactly. Man, what is this rye? I'm just gonna say Old Overholt. I mean, like that's the best guess I have. It's not like a Saz 18. I don't think it's that aged. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. A low proof, pretty high aged rye that is probably from America, therefore probably from Kentucky if you have the age component on there. You got to think of who might have that inventory. I don't know. It's not a Michter's 10. At least I don't believe so. No. It's too thin, too herbal. Like, yeah. I don't know. All right. Glass 4. Let's do this. A little darker than the previous glass. This smells crafty to me. Amy, it's not that. It's not the Maryland bottles. No, it's not Chattanooga Copper Wolf. No, I don't believe so. That has like a Chatty 99 rye for me has a soapy note to it. Oh, this smells like gasoline, glass 4. It has a Is that the best way to put it? Oh, Sharpie. It smells like Sharpie. It says a Sharpie note to it. Yeah. Sharpie / gasoline. Yeah, it's craft. Not the biggest fan of that. Big flavor, but big flavor, probably like 114 proof. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's very farmy whiskey. Do you think Middle West switched barrels due to demand? I don't know. I'm not sure, actually. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I actually have no thought on that, why they may have switched to 53. What would be the reason to do it? I guess. Yeah. What do you guys think? What's the reason to go from 27 or 30 or 5 or 10, 15? What's the reason to go from those smaller barrels to a 53-gallon barrel? I mean, the aging potential in those smaller barrels, they understand, I think, that it's pretty limited. It's capped out at a certain point, but I don't know. Joe, I never refer back to this notebook. No, I literally never look at it. My mom texted me happy birthday. My mom knows it's only 11:20. It's not my B-Day yet. Why can't they do both? I don't know. Knob Creek Rye. I don't think this one would be a Knob Creek Rye. Or Glass C, at least. Glass 4, not my favorite. It's very crafty. You know what? This might be Hidden Barn. Yeah, it's got that Hidden Barn thing. Well, I'll eat my words. It's big, it's full flavored, but it's just really crafty. Malted milk ball is always a craft whiskey note I talk about. High Plains Rye had it. Hidden Barn had it. This feels a little higher proof. I said 114 at first. I'm gonna go up to. I'm gonna go to 117. I might be overshooting this. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a bourbon. I'm gonna say it's 4 years, craft. I'm gonna call it Kentucky, even though I think it's craft. I don't know finish. And then generically, I'll just say Hidden Barn. All right, let's get to the last pour. Ooh. Did I say? Yeah, this is the last glass. Yeah, Casey, with you not eating, you're going to be drunk when your B-Day hits. Probably yes. So I'm going to use Toshi's $20 super chat to order some Grubhub, which will pay for the delivery only, probably. This glass 5 is... It smells like it was finished in a peach brandy barrel or something, like apricot brandy. It is so fruity. Oh, that is. Ron, what did you send me, dude? That tastes like a Dusty. It smells like fresh peaches, but in an antique store. Like there's a fresh fruit note, but there's also dustiness on the nose. The palate tastes dusty. I have to know what this is. Low proof, 90 proof. I don't think it's super old. It's bourbon, 100% bourbon. Oh my God, that's good. That's very interesting. I'm going to say no finish, but it really could be. Oh, that's... I don't have a bottle guess. How can it be so fruity? Yeah, all right. Let's do the reveals. Let's get into this. Yes, please hit that like button, guys. Let's just go down the line. If I had to rank these in order of my favorites, it's a toss-up between glass 2 and 5. 2 is what I thought the American single malt was. Possibly in a stout barrel. I don't know. Glass 5 is fruity, low proof, probably older, you know, when I say older, like 8 to 10, dusty, bourbon. Like, it's a toss-up for my favorite. I'm going to say those tie for first. Second place is either glass 1 or glass 3. 1 I thought was a double oaked rye. 3 I thought was a very low proof but high aged rye. I'll give the edge to glass 3. So tie for first. 2 and 4. Glass 3 in third place. Glass 1 in fourth place. Glass 4 in fifth place. Okay, here we go. Let's do the reveal. Yeah, Casey, 86 proof. Dusty's always. But I'm not totally convinced it's a Dusty. And if it's not, I have to find a bottle of that because it's crushable. It's got to be a Dusty. All right, let's do it. Thank you again, Ron, for sending these pours my way. Let's go, guys. First pour. I said it's a double oak rye, 4 to 6 years old. 107 to 112 proof. I settled on 110. I said it was 95.5 rye, MGP or Bardstown. Sagamore double oaked. Glass number 1 is a Sagamore double oaked rye whiskey. And that is what proof? It's not one to, it's low. So I'm high on proof. I thought I might have been. Okay. All right, we got some stuff to get into here. Oh, God, I hate my life. All right, I got to tell you what's going on here. So the first glass, I don't know. What is Sagamore double oaked officially? I can't read it in the picture. What is the proof? Sagamore double oak proof. 96.6. God bless America. I'm way off. Okay. I freaking called that out. On the profile, at least. Glass 2 is going to kill me. Let me see if I can see it in this picture. Ron, you might have to help me out. This is, I said it was an American single malt. I guess 7 years, 104 proof, so lower than the first one's proof. And I said possibly a stout cask finish. I don't understand this. It is Sagamore rum cask rye, distillery exclusive. A rum I hate rum 98% of the time. This is a distillery exclusive Sagamore rum cask rye distillery exclusive. What is the proof on this? I'm probably way off on the proof on all of these, but if it's lower than the first one, I would be happy. It's not the... So I've had the Sagamore, the regular rum finished rye, I despise. I think it's terrible because I don't like rum. But this is the distillery exclusive. Yeah, I think this is it. I'm looking at now 93 proof. It is lower proof. It is lower proof. Aged 4 years in a new charred oak barrel It's a rye. I can't believe that. Aged 1 year and 11 months in rum agricole barrels. Is that how you say that? So that means it is 5 years, 11 months. I guessed 7 years old. So I'm pretty close on the age. I'm off by 13 months. I cannot believe this. That is so good. I said it tasted like Cocoa Pebbles. That is so good. I taste the rum in this now. I would have never guessed it. It tastes like a single malt. That is awesome. All right. Wow. So it was finished, though, and I did say it was finished, but I thought stout. It tastes like a stout finish. I can't believe that's rum. Glass 3, 96 proof, I say. Rye, 9 year. So an older, lower proof rye, even lower than the second glass, which was 95 proof. I said maybe Overholt, no finish. I think it's an American rye. No way. No way. I thought I drank this the other night on a stream 2 weeks ago. This is the Sagamore Sherry Finished Rye. Finished in PX sherry barrels. I'm confused. Is anybody out there? No one's commenting in the chat. Sagamore. I had the Sagamore Sherry Finished Rye the other day. I thought it was like a huge flavor bomb, but not in a great way. Sherry Finished Rye. All right, let's see on the Sagamore website. First released as a distillery exclusive in 2019. Blah, blah, blah. Structured oak profile of our original whiskey. Balances the bouquet of dried fruit and honey left from the PX sherry wine. So, yeah, this is it. 18 months in PX sherry barrels. All right, what's the proof? What? 106? Higher than the previous two. The sherry just totally mutes the alcohol. Amy, you did send it. Oh, Ron says number 2's proof is 97. Still, okay, so it's almost the exact same as the Sagamore Double Oak then, because that's 96.6, I think. So 96.6, 97. This is now, oh, they varied by bottling. Okay. And this one looks to be 106. The Sherry Finished Rye. Amy, this is crazy. Glass. Wow. Glass 2 and 3, I really like them both. And both, this is a Sagamore rum finished distillery exclusive. Glass 2. That's nearly 6 years old. And then Glass 3 is this PX finished for 18 months Sagamore rye. These are amazing. These are great whiskeys. I did say it was an American rye. What is the age on this? 4 year straight rye, so 4.5 years, because 5.5. 4 years base, 1.5 years finish. It's awesome. Yeah. All right, Glass 4, I said probably craft. Hidden Barn, 117 proof. So what I'm saying is it's higher than the previous 3, if you want to go relative on this, because my proof guesses are not right tonight. I said bourbon, 4 years. Let's see. I said Kentucky. Okay. This makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And I had a bottle of this. This is a Corsets, Whips, and Whiskey Pick. No shit. It is exactly 117 proof. I snorted. Sorry. I guessed 117. The picture says 117. I can read that, Ron. I will take that proof guess. I'll take that to the bank. So this is a wheat whiskey from Journeyman Distillery in Michigan. And, you know, the bottle I had was really, really farmy to me. So I said bourbon, wheat whiskey. You can't tell entirely once you get to this level of kind of that craft taste. But I get it. I said 4 years old. Yeah, I would imagine this is around that mark. Ron, you might be able to, if it has a side label on the bottle or the side etching. Mine had an etching, I think. You could tell me the age of this one. Not my favorite. Big flavor punch on this. No finish. That was right. Craft. I said Kentucky. It's Michigan. All right. So I nailed the proof on this, and I'll take that. That's cool. All right. Let's go to the last one. There's no way I would have gotten this right. The last one I said tasted like a Dusty. This is pardon my French. This is a fucking crazy whiskey. All right. I'm going to tell you that right now. I hate that this is what this is because I think this carries a high price tag, and I hate that I said I liked it so much, and it tied for first. Okay? So with that aside, I said I was getting it's like a peach brandy, apricot brandy note on this. It's super fruity. And then I tasted it, and I said it tasted like a Dusty. At a very low proof. Outstanding. Yes, there are flaws. It's a low proof whiskey. The nose tastes way more finished, or smells way more finished than the palate tastes. I don't care. Subjectively, I just love this pour. It's summer, it's spring, it's everything like that. This is, let me show you guys, because I'm not super familiar with this. Let me get it down here. And let's try to close up. Okay, there we go. So Bacta, probably Bacta, Armagnac finished whiskey. So I'm going to look this up real quick. All right, but this is on the answer sheet. I got to look up the proof. It says 2013 in big lettering. Armagnac cask finish, bourbon whiskey. I said it tasted like 90 proof. Right now on the back end, the finish is hitting me harder than 90, but it's so easy drinking on the front end. That is so crushable. All right, Bacta. Let's see. Armagnac finished bourbon. I'm gonna type in 2013 because I don't know. All right. So let's see. I'm on Sealbox now. I don't know if this is the exact expression that I'm sipping. Ron, you can correct me. $150. Bacta Spirits 2013 cask strength bourbon. Age 9 years and 5 months. I said 10 years. The barrel, freshly emptied Armagnac cask that had been aging Bacta 50 Armagnac blends. I don't know what that means. That's not an age statement, so I don't know what that means. Finish time, 2 months. Proof, 100.6. Cask strength, I said 90 proof, so I'm off by 10. Tasting notes, nose, vanilla, biscuits, toasted oak. I think you're missing a lot of stuff there. Palate, very spicy. There's a spice, yeah. I'll give them that. Notes of nutmeg and hazelnut. That's interesting. Finish, stewed pears and apples. There's the fruitiness. This is so fruity. They've missed a lot of stuff on these tasting notes. I don't know who wrote that. About Bacta 2013, a limited release of cask-strength 2013 bourbon whiskey. Bacta 2013 bourbon has seen nearly 10 years of barrel age before receiving its signature cask finish in a freshly emptied Armagnac cask. I wonder what the age of that Armagnac is, because it feels fairly young with the kind of bright fruit that's coming through. But it's amazing. Like, I hate how good this is. $150 on seal box. They tend to mark things up just a bit. So maybe SRP is slightly lower than $150. I love this whiskey. If you're prepared to spend that money, spend it. If you're not prepared to, don't. Oh, this is a 9-year, 5-month MGP bourbon with 99% corn in the mash bill. Okay. All right. So, originally barreled in 2013, hence the 2013 vintage date. After the 2-month Armagnac finish, the bourbon is bottled at 100.6. Now, this person on drinkhacker.com says, the barrel finish makes itself known on the nose with significant oak influence, yes, but not overpowering. The nose similarly, this noses, similarly to some toasted barrel finish bourbons. No, that's not true. No, I'm sorry. That's not even close. That's a big claim to make. I hate to be picky, but that's a big claim to make. It's not true. That woody sweetness. Okay, you want to talk about woody sweetness? It smells like a Dusty. That's the woody sweetness. It's not double oaked sweetness. I'm sorry. Coupled with nuts, specifically walnuts. Someone said hazelnut earlier. Okay. Plus sugar cookies. It smells like a Dusty, guys. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. There's also some fruit here, but it's not fresh fruit. Rather, berries that have been cooked down into a dark compote. All right. I love this. I love this whiskey. Yeah. So anyways, sorry to go total nerd mode on this. I love this. I think I might order one of these right now on Sealbox. I mean, it's 150 is way too much for this, but I really like the whiskey. Oh, and it looks like 130. It was 130 at Total Wine. That's a little more palatable in terms of price. Wow. Have you guys had this? Has anybody in here had? So Ron says number 5 is a new venture made by the founder of Whistlepick. I remember reading that. Roy, what's up, Cam? Happy you nailed your audition. My son suddenly is into bass guitar, still plays cello. Yeah, Roy, that's awesome, man. Is this thing better than Disco 9? God, I mean, talk about two completely different pours. I'll just take a little rip off the top here. Dude, I forgot how good Disco 9 was. Holy crap. I love that stuff. They're too different. I mean, just on flavor and you got to go Disco 9. But this, again, I'm gonna say Bacta. If it's Bacta, I'm sorry. This Bacta 2013 cask strength bourbon Armagnac 2-month finish. It's got this crazy fruitiness. These articles are saying that it drinks over its 100.6 proof. I don't believe that's true. There is some spice on the palate. It's just a fruit bomb. It's like, it tastes to me like you took an 8 to 10 year Stitzel Weller from the 80s and finished it in some sort of very fruity cask. I love that whiskey. I love Disco 9. So that's a tough comparison. Eric says, if you don't like rum, I wonder what you're going to think of Wild Turkey Voyage. I will not purchase a bottle of that unless, like, I have to get a sample of that from somebody before I even consider purchasing a bottle. They raised the price. Secondary went way up as well, which sucks. A lot of distilleries think raising the price will mean it cuts down on secondary, but Voyage just followed the price raise of secondary and rage. But like, I'm not going to put my eggs in the basket of a rum-finished bourbon. Although after this Sagamore distillery exclusive rum finish, I mean, that was excellent tonight. Tyler says Sealbox has a 50-year Bacta Armagnac, so maybe this was in that 50-year barrel. Huh. Back that ass up, says Matt. I snorted again. I'm sorry. I got to stop snorting. Roy, thank you for the $20 super chat. I think we've paid for my DoorDashed dinner after this stream now. So thank you, Roy, and thank you, Toshi Bake. Cheers, Roy. That's awesome, man. And I've got enough of this Bacta 2013 bourbon to have again another night. I got to have Sarah taste this. I think she's going to really enjoy it. This is fantastic whiskey. Roy, as an Indian American, your first pronunciation is correct, Cam. Bacta. Bacta. Okay. Wow. Casey, buy yourself a bottle for your BDay. Sarah's going to kill me if I do that, so no bottles. No bottles. That's okay. We have so much whiskey in this house. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it. I appreciate you all hanging out. A little shorter stream, but we also started at like 10:10. So, I've been out in the sun playing music all day. I'm sweaty. I'm gross. I probably smell so bad. Sarah came up to hug me when I got home. I said, "Do not touch me. You don't want this. Just go to bed." So I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna order some DoorDash because I'm a lazy POS. I'm gonna shower. I'm gonna eat. My body's gonna freak out because when I eat food, my body freaks out now. This is new over the last 3 years. It's just one of those health things. My heart rate goes through the roof. My stress levels go through the roof, and I can't sleep for many hours after I eat. So I'll probably be up all night. But, it's cool. I don't have to do anything until an 8 p.m. concert tomorrow. Strange times. Jeb, 140 is a tough call, man. Just the price of this stuff is a tough call in general. I like it. It is delicate, in my opinion. It's very fruity on the nose. The palate reminds me of a dusty, wheated bourbon. More than reminds me. You could mistake this. If you plugged your nose and just took a sip, you could mistake this, in my mind, for a Stitzelweller of the 70s or 80s. It's weird in that way, but it's apparently 99% corn, MGP 9.5 year. It's so good. Yeah, Jeb, if you don't like it, crack it open. If you don't like it, I'll buy it off of you. Yeah. If you get it, go buy it immediately though, because otherwise, I want to know if I need to buy one on Sealbox. So yes, 100%. Noah, email me. And Noah, thank you first off for even thinking of this. Drums. I want to make sure I'm typing this correctly. My camera is in front of where I'm typing on my screen right now. Drums, there it is. drumsanddrams@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email, Noah. We can talk. And Roy, thank you for the birthday wishes, man. Yeah, Joe, maybe it's just me being old. Roy, no giveaway tonight, man. Sorry. Ron, thank you for the samples. I learned a lot tonight. I would have never imagined that the first 3 in this blind flight were Sagamore. By the way, guys, please help me thank Ron for sending these along. The first one, I'm glad I called the bottle. I feel good about that, even if I got like some of the proof and things wrong. At the end of the day, I called the bottle. The second one threw me for a loop. The rum cask finish, I think, is incredible. I really do. The sherry finished rye took me by surprise. And then the Journeyman was not my cup of tea, which it falls in line with the fact that I gave my bottle away or traded it away. And then this final Armagnac finished whiskey, Buckta, as Roy says it should be pronounced. I think it's awesome. I really do. So, Ron, thank you, man. Apparently, these are just sitting on shelves. And tell me if I'm crazy if you guys have tried this. No, I would love to try an Elijah Craig 12 from 06. That would be awesome. Yeah, Jeb, 100.6 proof. Yeah. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. If you have not already, or if you're watching the replay, thank you for doing that. Hit that like button. It depends on the schedule of Pours in the Park. Next Thursday night before Pours, I'm going to be up in a hotel in Midland. And maybe we can get Matt Porter on. Maybe Matt and I can sit down in person and do a live stream, which would be a lot of fun. We just got to make it happen. So, next Thursday night, I should be live. I don't know if it's going to be at the regular time or a little bit later like tonight. Just keep an eye out for that. Either way, it's going to be great. If you're going to be at Pours, come say hello, please. It's just going to be great. So much fun. And that's it. All right. Cheers, guys. And I'm going to finish off with... Why not? Yeah. A little bit of Cocoa Puffs in the glass. Glass 2, which is the Sagamore rum-finished distillery exclusive. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you soon.